welcome everyone. This is the first podcast for ASNengrs Houston. I am Policia Stapit. We're so excited to have you all. I will start with brief introductions before we begin the podcast. I'm going to start with our very president for ASNengr Houston chapter, Sastai. Would you mind introducing yourself briefly and share what inspired you to join this organization?
Sure. Thank you, Palisa. Hello, everyone. My name is Sahas Shrestha. I'm a civil engineer by profession with a master's degree from the University of Louisiana at Lafayette, and my undergrad was from good old Pulchak campus back in Nepal. I have been working in the civil engineering field for almost 16 years now, and currently I'm serving as the vice president of Crest Engineers, where I mostly focus on water resource engineering. So basically anything to do with water, where it should go, and definitely where it should not.
Right.
Uh, Now my journey with ASNengr is actually kind of funny. I used to see posts about it floating around social medias. The usual engineers in suits, people smiling, riding the ride, talking, uh, taking group photos, things like that. But I never really attended anything before 2022. Then in around 2022, I saw some social media post floating around about a local meeting. And honestly, I wasn't planning for a long time to join. It just happened to be I was free that day, so I decided why not. Let's see what this is all about. Well, I showed up, and somehow I walked out as an executive member that day. And I'm pretty sure Samir I will recount that story too. Almost 2 years later, in 2024, I ended up being elected as a president of the Greater Houston chapter. So yes, what started as a casual drop-in almost 2 years ago, almost 3 years ago, now turned into a full-on leadership role. And honestly, I'm so glad I took that step. It has been a rewarding experience connecting with the fellow Nepali engineers and building a community here in the US. Thank you,
Awesome.
Palisa.
Yeah, thank you. We're all glad that you were free that day, that now we get to see your leadership in the greater Houston area. Thank you, Sastai. Next up,
Sure.
I'd like to ask Rajendra Dai the same question, just your introduction and your journey or why you joined this organization.
Namaskar. I'm Rajendra Shrestha from Houston, Texas. And my whole career was involved in oil and gas industry, exploring, developing, and producing oil and gas fields. And I had the opportunity to get involved with the American Society of Nepalese Engineers, also known as ASNEngr, or the Society, since its establishment in 2007. So it's been about 18 years.
Wow.
Currently, I'm a member of the ASNEngr Board of Directors, and I also chair the Membership Review Committee. Additionally, I have served as an advisor to the Greater Houston chapter of ASNEngr since 2023. And previously, I had the position of Vice President of ASNEngr for 2 terms, starting from 2008 to 2012, and as president for 2 terms, 2012 to 2017. And you know why I joined ASNEngr? I joined the society because it is the only nonprofit professional organization dedicated to engineers, scientists, and technologists in the United States and Canada. And I'm pretty happy why I joined the ASNEngr, because it has been a very rewarding experience. I have ended up being recognized for my Best Presentation Award in 2012, Society Leadership Award in 2017, and the Lifetime Achievement Award from the Greater Houston chapter in 2024. Thank you.
Thank you. That's a lot of awards. Thank you, Rajendra Dai. Next up, I'd like to ask Samir Dai the same question. Just introduce yourself and what made you join this organization.
Yeah. Hello, everyone. My name is Samir Rawal, and I'm currently serving as the treasurer of American Society of Nepalese Engineers. the national level, and also hold the immediate past president of Houston chapter as well. And I've had the honor of serving as vice president of Nepalese Association of Houston, a local organization where it supports which is dedicated to supporting and uplifting our Nepalese community here in Houston, right? So, and I've been a proud resident of Houston since 2010. And professionally, I'm a mechanical engineer and the owner of a Houston-based drilling company. And outside of work, I'm an entrepreneur and investor, and above all, a social worker, right? And someone who enjoys being out in the community. And I strongly believe in giving back to the community. And that's one of the reasons. That is, in fact, my motivation to joining this engineering fraternity as well. And excited to be here today and look forward to sharing my perspectives with you all. Thank you.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you, Samir Dai. All right, last but not least, Mangal Dai, same question for you, your introduction, what made you join the organization? And I think you also have a few insights to share about the organization as a whole. Take it away, Mangal Dai.
Thank you, Palisha ji. Namaste and warm greetings to all our listeners. First of all, thank you, Houston Chapter President Sahas Shrestha, for organizing this podcast event. Myself is Mangal Maharjan. I live in DC metro area, city of Hanover in Maryland, since 12 years. And my background is electronics in Master of Engineering. And I'm working with EDF Power Solutions since 6 years. And as my background is very much focused on energy sector, as a renewable energy and sustainable development expert, I have 20 years of experience in engineering, particularly in utility scale solar PV design and electrical systems. With this organization, I was involved since, I think, almost more than a decade in various positions, started from general member, then treasurer, then chapter level, different various positions, and then treasurer, vice president, and currently I'm president of this American Society of Engineers for 2025-2026 term. And my inspiration to be part of this organization is rooted in service. I strongly believe in giving back to the professional community that shaped me. And American Society of Nepalese Engineers is more than just a network. It's a platform to mentor, support, and uplift fellow engineers, especially those navigating their career in a new country, for exploring ways to give back to Nepal. Today, I'm honored to talk about the American Society of Nepalese Engineers, known as ASNEngr, a dynamic platform for Nepalese engineers, scientists, and technical professionals, as well as their friends and collaborations. This society is a registered non-profit organization established during the first general meeting in Atlanta, Georgia in 2007, and officially incorporated in the state of South Carolina on September 2007. The organization currently holds as a 501c federal tax exempt status. Our mission is simple yet powerful: to create a space where Nepalese professionals can connect, collaborate, and contribute to one another's success, while also promoting engineering and technological advancement in Nepal. Thank you for now.
Thank you, Mangal Dai. All right. Thank you, everyone, for that introduction. Next up, my next question is for Rajendra Dai. Why should someone join this association?
That's a very good question, Palisap Baini. I think our current president, Mangalji, has already alluded to this point.
Mm-hmm.
The American Society of Nepalese Engineers is committed to fostering the exchange of research, educational experiences,
Mm-hmm.
and professional knowledge among its members. That's one point. The second is the organization promotes interaction and collaboration, providing opportunities to enhance technical skills and professional competence for career advancement of its members. And furthermore, it supports the growth of engineering, science, and technology in Nepal. Very important point to note. In Nepal, we we have signed many memorandum of understanding with Nepal Engineers Association, Institute of Engineering, National Society of Earthquake Technology, and that's things like that. So we promote the growth of engineering, science, and technology in Nepal through knowledge sharing and financial assistance too. So it's a win-win situation for both the members and the society. The members get to enhance the personal career growth by participating in society's activities and programs, while the society gains sustainability, growth, and elevation to a higher level through the active support of its members. Thank you, Parisai.
Thank you. Thank you, Rajendra. Personally, I can speak for Houston chapter ever since I've joined the association. It's been a few months now. Other than meeting fellow Nepali engineers, it's a lot of fun. It's basically a lot of fun. And especially for young engineers that belong to, especially my age group, who are like, what's the catch? Like, why should I join? It's like, it's a lot of fun. You get to hang out with your peers, your people who are working in the same industry as you and learn from them in a fun way. We have a lot of fun activities coming up for this year as well. I'll keep that for the last few minutes, but again, personally, I can really vouch for this organization that it is a lot of fun, and the leaders that you can see on the screen, they really try and help young engineers to kind of pave their path to success as a Nepali engineer. All right. Thank you again, Rajendra Dai. That was a great insight on why we should join, why someone should join the organization. My next question is for Mangal Dai and Samir Dai. I'm going to ask Samir Dai first. What has been your biggest challenge as a leader in this association?
Well, challenges there are many in this organization. Not only this organization, but overall any volunteer organization as such, right? This is not for profit, and then it does not pay. That's the thing. That's a challenge in itself. To corral people, to rally people. And well, I've been. Let me give you a brief background on this. How I ended up here. I've been involved with ASNEngr for almost I don't know, like since back in 2010 when we hosted this conference, isn't it, Rajendra?
It's July 7th and 8th, 2011, and
Yeah.
it was held in University of Houston, Clear Lake.
Right. Since then, I've been both actively and passively for quite a few years, been heavily involved. And over the years, I participated and sponsored quite a few activities held by, chapter as well as National ASNEngr org as well. And then one thing that stood out to me was, early on was that the local chapter's purpose and goals felt very vague, and limited, and even disconnected from the potential of our engineering community. That was especially frustrating for me as I was like starting new here too in this city, and considering that Houston, I believe, probably has the highest concentration of Nepalese engineers in the U.S. and Canada, I think, and we had the numbers, but not the structure or the momentum. So when I was brought in as a leader, like 2 3 years back, 2024, after a COVID situation, after the COVID passed by, and then we had a meeting, and then they brought me as a leader, and my first and most important goal was to revive this chapter. Right, as you all know, it was like dormant as it could be. I knew we needed a fresh executive body, people who are willing to not only the people who are energetic and passionate, but who also share the same vision and growth, and that could leave a meaningful impact, So I had to bring those kind of people here. So those were the challenges to bring in leaders as well, right? And then one of the most biggest challenge that I faced during my tenure was to rallying people to get involved, right? Like Mangalji may have been facing the same, and Sahaji also facing the same, but now the structure is more in line, in more structured now.
Right.
So everyone has busy lives, as we know, and convincing fellow engineers who are often juggling multiple jobs or even demanding jobs, right? And personal priorities, responsibilities to dedicate time and energy to this association hasn't always been easy, right? Encouraging active participation takes patience, perseverance, and persistence, and a lot of one-on-one conversation as well, right? So as we have to convince people to bring here to this organization. So, and another challenge what I found was bringing in new programs that keeps on challenging people, engaging people, right? Change is never easy, right, as we all know. And sometimes people are hesitant to try something new, right? Like police I may have faced too, right? I mean, hey, come on, police, I know we had to convince you a lot, right? And then same thing with SASD also, But what I've learned is, if the programs are meaningful and then they know the goal of this organization, and we take the time to explain this, they do, accept it,
Right.
They do come on board, right? But it takes quite a bit of convincing, though, right?
All right.
And it's been a learning experience, but it also made me as a leader also stronger and more empathetic also. Before I was like a dictatorial, like it has to be done, like, how do we do this? Right. But now I'm more empathetic, like I understand you, I hear you, you have a problem, So along the way also I've learned a lot. And if you look at Houston itself as a case study, right, it's clear how far we have come along.
Yeah.
In just 2 years when we were so kind of like dead in water. Right. So thanks to the dedicated leaders like you and Sasi and Mangalji and Rajendra, who has set precedents here. Right. And I'm proud of who we are. And I'm confident that the culture of this Houston chapter will, we have set here will continue and thrive. Right. So, because at the end of the day, leadership is all about, building something that lasts, something, bigger than yourself.
Right.
Right.
Thank you, Samir.
But Felicia,
yes.
just to add a little point there. So Samir Dai said that rallying was one of the challenge for his term, but I see that one of the strength for Samir Dai actually. He did really great job rallying people. So yeah, kudos to Samir Dai on that one.
Thank you, Sasi.
I can definitely say that you've really laid that foundation where we stand today, where you've really, really worked hard whenever you were the president in this chapter.
Thank
All
you.
right. Next up, the same question for Mangaltai as well. What has been your biggest challenge as a leader in this association? And I know that you oversee the entire country in a sense because you overlook the central branch, if you will. What has been your challenge from that level?
Yes, Palisaji, this is also a very good question, as Samirji already presented his thoughts on what is the challenge in the perspective of chapter perspective. In my ends, one of the biggest challenges I see I have faced as a leader is balancing the diverse perspective, you know. So in a global professional network like American Society of Network Engineers, we have members various stages in their career, from very high level of expertise to very fresh graduates, you know, and each with unique ideas, expectation, and needs. Of course, the expert, high level expert, the already 10, 15 years, all members has a different way of running the organization, and the fresh graduates or the new members have a very much, expectation, what organization gives us, what organization motive, how organization motivate members to make it balance is very one of the challenge. And the leadership in this context means being inclusive, adaptable, and forward thinking, so that it's about creating a common vision while respecting individuals' goals, voices, making sure the organization remains both relevant and inspiring them. And one of the big challenge what I'm facing is to maintain the membership. You know,
Wow.
right now we have 900 plus members in our society, but whereas the active members are very few, it's more than half, almost 300, only 300 is active members. So why all three 900s are not active? So why they a lot of people is not in contact. One time they made a membership and they are no more contact at all. So how to make them live and how to make them, of course, if you register as a life member, they are lifelong members, where we have a lot of general members who were not renewed annually. So how to make them active? That is one of the biggest challenge. Maybe our system has to be improved to make them active. So that has to be taken care carefully. One of the biggest challenge I see there.
Okay. All right.
Uh,
Awesome. Thank you, Mangoldai. You brought up a really good point. You said that it's difficult to balance different viewpoints and perspectives. I want to ask everybody else on this call, have you all faced situations like that where you have too many brains working at the same time and you have conflictive opinions and conflictive interest maybe? Have you all faced a situation like that where you just don't know what decision to go with because there's so many opinions on the table? Anybody?
Well, as for myself, I took the role of the editor of our flood poison paper,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, flood preparedness, mitigation, and disaster recovery in Nepal. And it it took more than 4 years to get it published on
Wow.
paper, which we inaugurated or publicized on December 7, 2024, in Herndon, Virginia, during this strategic summit meeting.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the main things is we had to deal with people with different kinds of opinions, very opinionated people.
Yeah.
Even among our 5 editors, the, there were challenges to bring them together on the same page because everybody opined in a different way. However, we overcame that challenge, and the question paper on flooding in Nepal was successfully published. And our Mangal Maharjanji, our current president, he took the opportunity to take a few copies of it to the president, His Excellency, the Right Honorable Ramchandra Paudel, President of Nepal, and
Wow.
we are very proud of it.
Wow. That's amazing. That's
Yeah,
amazing.
it's a success story, by the way.
Yeah, it is a success story, definitely.
But
Polishaji, I will add a few more points on that. And thank you, Rajendra sir, as he brought it. Yeah, fraud paper publication is one of the big challenge. I can add one more challenge because varieties of people, interest of people has different perspective, different view. But it took a long time because not all people have same thoughts. How to uh, complete this paper was big challenge because of the some people review differently, some review differently. But finally, Ryan, thank you, Ryan, sir. So he facilitated a lot to bring people in the one board and make a finalize this. And that paper went very well. One of the very visible outcomes and publication of the society, and it's widely distributed now. So thank you, Ryan, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, Rajanadai and Mangoldai, for sharing those insights. Anything else?
Felicia,
Yes.
yeah, I'll just add a little bit on that one. From Houston chapter point of view, So if we even look at the last chapter and this chapter, the shift is very visual. You can feel the shift, because right now we have probably the if you look at the average age, the youngest chapter in for the entire Asian engineer. So this is a challenge in itself, but it's also a blessing at the same time, because w- we have quite a few new faces. So we have, thankfully, we have people like Ryan Dai and Samir Dai, who had been attending all the meetings and guiding us. So it's a chapter, to balance the new energy and what we have been, what's our tradition, what we have been doing. So it's a challenge, and like I said, it's a blessing at the same time. For example, we had that happy hour last month, and traditionally, if we go to some event organized by our association, it's generally 90% of the time, or almost all the time, 90% of the faces are very familiar faces. But at that event, it was a big crowd, and 90% of the faces were new faces. So I was really happy. It's I see that people are coming in. So I think there is a shift happening here in Houston chapter, which is good. So yeah.
Awesome. Awesome.
So
Thank
actually, just to comment on that situation, challenge is an opportunity, like as you said, blessing in
Yeah.
disguise, right? I mean,
Yeah.
last time, look at the last, I mean, in our tenure, right? Last time, last executive body, we didn't even have any full quota of people.
Oh yeah.
At least
Yeah.
we have, that many number of people, young, energetic, who are there to, achieve something, right?
Yeah.
Like
And
police
and
itself, our future, maybe central leader.
yeah.
I see her as, capable of that, So we
And,
need
and
more.
now I can. Sorry, Samir, go ahead.
No, 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 just you can
Yeah.
continue. I was,
Yeah, I was just adding to it, but now I can proudly say that, like, for example, even if we have a meeting, let's say, we don't have to send any reminders for the meetings, and there are almost everyone showing up,
right,
which is great. So
right,
yeah.
absolutely, absolutely. And that's what I was telling, the central committee also, right? We have, very young, energetic group of people in Houston that is committed to, take it to the next level,
Yeah.
right? And
Along the
thanks to
same
the
line,
leadership, Sasdi,
yeah, along the same line, I would like to touch base on this the Greater Houston chapter. You see, for a few years before 2023, February 5th, 2023, exactly, uh, the society, the Greater Houston chapter was kind of inactive, not doing anything for a few years, for about 4 years. And as myself, as the past president of the American Society of Engineers for 2 terms, and residing in Houston, I used to get a lot of what you call pressure from the central committee, what's happening to the Houston chapter. Yeah, not only me, even Jagannath Kimiriji was the past president. So what I did is I I had to communicate and negotiate a lot, whether it's at the Philippines Community Center or Asiana restaurant or over the phone to the people to revive and reactivate this society. And finally, it paid off. Our efforts paid off. And we met on February 5th, 2023 at the Asiana restaurant. We had lunch. And then prior to lunch, we had a meeting where we elected an executive committee led by Samir Raolji, and Sahasi was one of the members, one
Hmm.
of the active members of that executive committee. And at that time, we had even problem finding enough people to serve in the executive committee officers or members, And the first thing I did was amend the bylaws of the Houston chapter because it was in a mess.
you.
Thank you.
Yeah, we've
Hmm.
come a long way. That's a great story. Also, I'm amazed by how Rajendra Dai remembers every date. It's quite amazing. He's like, on this date, this thing happened. That's very commendable. Um,
Felicia, there is a reason we call him Encyclopedia of Asian Engineer.
yeah, yeah. Now now I understand why. All right. So the next question is for you, Sahastai. What are your
Hmm.
expectations from the association moving forward? Of course, this would be more focused on the Houston chapter as a whole. What are your
Right.
expectations?
Right. All right. Thank you, Felicia, again. Yeah. Um, like Samir Dai mentioned before the chapter, it was a challenge for him to revive the chapter, but he did really good job. So it's a challenge for us to fill the big shoes there. So that's one of the challenge. But looking ahead, my hope for ASNEngr Houston chapter is to keep growing, not just in size but in impact. I want this organization to be a true hub for all the Nepali STEM professionals, not only engineers, focus on that, but also not only engineers, but also scientists, IT professionals, researchers, and of course, students and new graduates. Basically, if you are curious, you are motivated, and know how to open an Excel spreadsheet or a break one, we want you. You can be here.
Right.
Here in Houston, we have been building that community step by step. Earlier this year, we hosted webinars, happy hours, and even an in-person meeting at a ping pong court.
Yeah.
Uh, and I was almost a champion there. And we have gotten more organized. We have launched few subcommittees focused on a lot of things actually. Our focus there is a subcommittee for webinar, there is a subcommittee for social media, and also subcommittee for student outreach, fundraising subcommittee, and magazine and journal subcommittee. So what's next? We in near future, in coming months, we are planning a big in-person event in September with some very distinguished guests, including Fort Bend County Precinct 1 Commissioner and city engineer from Pearland. We are finalizing our third speaker too. And later this fall, we are hosting a grand community picnic. We did that last year as well. Uh, we will add few more features this year on that one. It will include some science fair for kids, maybe a resume polishing stations, and networking events for young professionals and students. So basically something for everyone, from like including kids and also to senior engineers.
Awesome.
And to add to that, our magazine subcommittee is working very hard to publish our first ever Houston chapter magazine that's coming up by the end of the year. Our subcommittee is planning few podcasts for this year and next year too. And our social media and podcast subcommittee is always active, like right now.
Right.
Uh, yeah. So my expectation is that ASN Engineer Houston chapter continues to bring people together, students, professionals, and also job seekers and mentors. I would like to focus on that one too, job seekers and mentors, so we can all grow, support each other, and maybe even discover our next opportunity.
Yep. Awesome. Thank you. Thank you, Sahastai. So my next question is very similar, but this is directed towards Mangal Dai. Where do you see this organization going in next 5 to 10 years overall, just ASNEngr as a whole, not just the Houston chapter?
Thank you again, Polisaji, this question, because where we are now and where we go down the road 5 to 10 years is a very valid question, and that's what we are talking. So in this regards, what we feel when I took the in charge lead position of this organization, I saw all the bylaws, structures, the numbers I see, and I felt that, hey, the bylaws was prepared 15 years ago. The mission vision was prepared 15, 20 years ago. So this is not exactly aligned these days what the young engineers, and as I spoke earlier, a lot of various stages of people expectation cannot meet. Let's do something. So in this regard, and our past president of DC chapter, Sagar Khadka, suggested why not we carried out one a good summit including all the chapter members, chapter president, talk together to make it finalize our 5 years, 10 years goal, mission, vision, whatever necessary as amendment or changes had to be done. And that was organized in December 7, 2024. And Rajendra sir was the one of the active participants. Thank you, Rajendra sir. And in that summit, we very actively participated. All participants participated and produced, uh, different sectors group has presented various type of documents, especially how to make organization structure more robust and doable, and is there necessary to change some objective mission visions. For example, we have 25, 27 board members now. Is it necessary? So more the board members, sometimes not easy to approve some documentation. So that's why we are talking structure wise. And also, most importantly, I always believe the numbers. How many members right now we have? For example, 800. So as forecasted somewhere, somehow in the embassy or somewhere, maybe more than 15,000 engineers around the United States. So whereas we have hardly 1,000 engineers is listed as members in our society, why not reach out more engineers? That's one of the goal we made. So from 800 to 2,000 at least next 5 years,
Right.
or 5,000, why not? And that's one of the very important goal we fixed it. And another number is, what is your funding capacity? So funding is one of the more important part. Yes, we are volunteer organization, 401c organization, non-profit organization, but as a professional organization like Engineer Association of Nepalese Engineers, we have to have some significant sizable fund. For now, we have very limited fund, so we can't do anything. So my point is, at least as a leader of organization, we have to make fund at least 500,000 for next 5 to 10 years. So why not we can fund people who our expert can go some global conference and, hey, present who we are, how can make the infrastructure better, how can make, we have a lot of good people in United States research, in construction area, in AI area, in energy sector, a lot of high level people and innovative people there. So why not someone participate in the global conference, and we can fund 2 or 3 people a year. So to do so, we have to have strong financial status. So I'm in line with that, and we fixed, as I said, so at least $500,000 should be in our fund within 10 years or 5 years. So we set the goal with in 5 years 250,000, and in 10 years at least 500,000 fund. So that was the goal. And of course, there are a lot of guidelines, structure development, and bylaws will be updated. It is already, some of the goals are already in line, achieved and in line. So I'm moving forward to achieve this goal. And very soon, Sagar Khadka, who was the moderator of strategy summit and documentation, he's finalizing that mission vision and all the 5 to 10 years goal documentation. So we might announce in the upcoming conference in New York. So that document will be finalized. So we have some very solid documentation for 5 to 10 years down the road.
That's amazing. I definitely see huge potential in our organization moving forward, given everything that you've mentioned just now. All right, so that was almost all of the questions I wanted to ask you all. I have just one last question. This is more like a message that you can give out to everybody who's listening right now. What message would you all like to give to young Nepali engineers watching this right now? And keep this as short as possible because we're almost hitting top of the hour. I'll start with Sahastai.
All right. Felicia, I would also like to add not only engineers, also STEM professionals.
Right.
So all of you watching here, young Nepalese engineers and STEM professionals, whether you are in school, you just graduated, or trying to find your first job. And my message is simple. You are not alone in this journey. When I started my career, I had to figure out a lot of things the hard way. But now there is organization. This is our organization exists, so you don't have to do the same hard work like that we did. And I'm pretty sure Randai, Samir and Mangal did too. So we are here to support you, guide you, connect you with mentors, peers, and opportunities. So don't hesitate to reach out, get involved, uh, and ask questions, whether it's about career services, grad school interviews, or just trying to find your footing. We have been there. We all have been there. So we are glad to help. And also, don't wait for the perfect time to join or participate. Sometimes just showing up to an event with no expectation can lead to surprising outcomes. I mean, that's literally how I became a president, so 2 years ago. Yeah. So stay curious, stay humble, keep learning, and remember that this is your community too. We're excited to see what we'll build together.
Yep. Awesome. Thank you, Sastai. Rajendra.
Well, to our friends at the early stage of your careers, if you are not yet a member of American Society of Nepalese Engineers, we heartfully we encourage you to join American Society of Nepalese Engineers. And if you are already a member, so consider enhancing your professional development for advancing your career by actively participating in the society's various activities, such as conferences, webinars, networking programs. We are always there to help you. Yeah. So these opportunities can help you achieve your career goals. And I would like to reiterate that it's a win-win situation for both the members and the society. Members can boost their personal career growth by engaging in the society's initiatives, while the society benefits from your support, which contributes to its sustainability and growth. And just to add one point to what Mangalji has said about the 5 to 10 years plan, in that strategic summit on December 7, 2024, I had also suggested we need to add, we currently have 5 chapters in the society, and we need to add 5 more additional chapters in 5 to 10 years, because it is the best way to enhance communication and connection with both current and prospective members. See, and the Greater Houston chapter of ASNEngr presents a great example of that chapter initiatives, chapter engagements. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, Rajendra. Next up, Samir. What message do you want to give everyone?
Yeah, my message is along the same lines as Rajendra and Sahji mentioned, more so with Sahji, I think, the lines I was thinking were along the same exact. Like, don't wait for the perfect moment, right? So get involved as to the fullest, capacity, whatever allows you to, your timing allows you to. And then you are, if whether you're early in your career or you are still in school, your voice, your ideas do matter, right? Join communities like ASNEngr, not just to network, but to grow, to learn from others, and to give back to the community. Again, I keep on saying this, giving back to the community, right? This is how we grow ourselves and then make others grow, right? And then just like when we started our lives back then, people can learn from this, right? From our experiences. So people at later stages of, like profession, like Rajendra also, they can give something back to the community so that new people don't have to tread paths, the same difficult path we have gone through.
Yeah.
It will make their life easy. So, and then to the young engineers, young STEM professionals, you have so much potential, and our community needs your vigor, vitality, your creativity, your passion, your leadership. Don't be afraid to ask questions. Come to our communities, come to our happy hour, right? And like Sasi said, we are doing once every month, I think, right? Aren't we? So people here
Yeah, yeah.
locally, people who are locally here, present here in Houston, they're more than welcome, to come to our happy hours and then network with people, right? That's how, we connect with each other. and people know each other, and then they can get jobs here. People are, these days now people have companies right now. Back in those days when we were starting, like 2010, 2015, 2016, when we do those, everybody were asking for like jobs. Hey, can I get a job? Can I get that job? Now we have people who can get jobs, right? And the internship opportunities. So, and remember, engineering isn't just about solving problems, right? It's also about building bridges between people and exploring possibilities. Like as Sasi was already mentioning, that could impact lives in ways that we may not see right now, right? At the moment.
Right.
So come join hands, and build something for the future.
Awesome.
And,
Thank you. Thank you, Samir Dai. Last but not least, Mangal Dai, any messages?
Sure. To the young engineers and emerging engineers, I want to say that American Society of Nepalese Engineers is your community. It's a place where you can grow, connect with mentors, contribute to meaningful initiatives, and be part of some bigger than what you are yourself. So, or whatever you are, just starting your career or pursuing your dream, American Society of Nepalese Engineers offers you a professional home, the one that opens door, share knowledge, and connect you to people who genuinely care about your success. For example, recently one of the our engineer member from the UK visited to uh, Washington DC in his business meeting, and suddenly can we make a talk program? Yes, I organized the talk program in the DC area, and more than 30 people show up, and he's sharing one of the 15.5 billion UK pound project, Elizabeth train within the London metro area. So, he's sharing what was the challenges, what was the success story. It was amazing story he shared. And so how we handled the challenges, such a big project. So that was wonderful sharing platform. So those are the things is good example why we encourage the young engineers here. And we welcome all of your ideas, your energy, and your ambition. Together, we can build a stronger network and a brighter future for ourselves, for Nepal, and overall global engineering community. And finally, thank you for listening. Let's contribute to collaborate, innovate, and uplift each other. That's it.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you, Mangal Dai. So that was all the questions finally. Y'all did a great job. Thank you for being here on the podcast, and thank you for the opportunity to host this podcast on behalf of the Houston chapter. I think we had a great conversation, and for whoever is listening this right now, this is just the first one. This is our first podcast. We'll be coming up with different podcasts with different topics. If you have any suggestions, you are more than welcome to reach out to us to suggest those ideas, or put it in the comment section, message us, email us, however you feel would be easier for you to communicate with us. And thank you very much, and we'll see you in the next one.
Thank you, Palisaji, for
Thank
hosting
you,
and
Palisa.
moderating this podcast. Thank
Thank
you.
you. Thank you.
And
Thank you,
all.
Palisa.